What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RushMoreRick, and today we are about to react to rappers in these weird all-white parties. Now, I will say this. I never understood, like maybe it's a thing, like when you inside the industry or if you at the top, an A-list celebrity, you all want to get together with like-minded people or people who are like basically the same stature as you. You want to be around your own, be around your kind. But I never understood the power this little white man in the middle had to have make all these A-list celebrities, whether it's you got actors, you got rappers, you got athletes. This you telling me this little white dude in the middle got the power to bring all these niggas together for one banger? It's screaming Diddy, but we about to see what's going on.
This is why I don't call people culture vultures. Look at this. Look how he's holding these two grown men. I said in a previous video that rappers are like girls. They'll literally hang out with anybody that can give them some shopping money, but how much you gotta pay for this? And who is this in the background? Is this one of the servants? All this gangster talking y'all music, and y'all let a 50-year-old man fly you out to party with him. I don't care if he's paying $100K per guest. This is not my scene. When do you get to the point where you can host an all-white party? Exactly. What level do you have to be on? Because we know from the whole Diddy situation that these are not just regular parties. And look at how this man is biting his lip. What is Donald Trump telling him? Anyway, in 10 to 15 years, I'm sure somebody is going to come out with similar stories about.
See, I feel like the whole shit with Diddy is one of the worst things that happened to the entertainment industry as a whole, because that means anybody who does shit like this with the whole A-list celebrity parties and getting together with a whole bunch of different big names, you looked at in that light where it's like, what type of power do you have? What's really going on behind the scenes? Because at the same time, like, this shit is always weird. Like, to the common person looking at this is weird. You know what I'm saying? It's
about the Michael Rubin parties, but he'll probably be long gone out of the country by then. But he's only been hosting these parties since 2021, and before that, it was just Diddy for the most part. So how was it decided who can be the new all-white party host? This has been a subject of much debate since Diddy started being accused of things, and probably even before that.
Women, beautiful women, of course.
But I want to try to get to the bottom of this, or at least as much as I can without it getting too weird.
Locks on the doors. It's a little kinky, but yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to see all of the biggest celebrities go to Diddy's house in the Hamptons and St. Tropez for the all-white parties, and not thinking too hard, I just thought, well, Diddy is rich, and he's probably just inviting his rich friends to a party. But these people aren't friends. The whole Hollywood was all in Diddy's house eating his food, drinking his champagne, and today none of them want anything to do with him. All the interviews now are, oh yeah, I went to Diddy party, but I stayed on the first floor, or I ain't go to the after party, I left. So nobody went to the after party, right? Okay. So
So you telling me nobody was in these freak offs? Y'all all got invited to the Diddy party, but nobody made it to the second floor, the third floor, the fourth floor. They never made it behind the big red doors. That's what you telling me? Because if y'all stupid enough to believe that, I'm stupid enough to sell fish to a water. You know what I'm saying? I just said fish to a water. Let's keep going.
Michael Rubin, Diddy's first official all-white party was in 1998, but by 2004, his party was officially sponsored by Sony to promote the PlayStation. Also, PlayStation was the name of one of his houses in New York, and he was even given an original copy of the Declaration of Independence to bring to the freak-off party, allegedly a freak-off party. He really had the Declaration of Independence though, and there were only 200 original copies made by a guy named John Dunlap, who was alive when the original document was drafted, and only
Side note, how much y'all think having one of these is worth? Like, if you have one of the Declaration of Independences, like the original ones, how much you think that shit worth? These niggas got too much money, because why the fuck does Diddy have a Declaration of Independence? Not a black man. Like, let's look at that. A black man has it, but the black man being Diddy specifically, that shit's fucking my mind right now. Pause.
Only 25 of these copies survived. So this is actually an original copy that Diddy is holding at one of his parties. That's how influential this man was. And before I really get into it, if you paid attention to popular culture at all, you would know that strange things at parties like this are nothing new. I still remember when Whoa Vicky said she got invited to a party in LA where they have to take your phone as well as a drop of your blood. Now that sounds like cap, but LA gets pretty weird once you go up in them hills. Also, my mom knows a guy who I obviously can't name, but back in the 90s, he was a big time drug dealer in Chicago. Chicago, and he was connected to Bishop Don Juan, which is an old man that's famous in Chicago for being a pimp. And yes, he's been all through Hollywood, and I wonder why celebrities would have a pimp around them. Anyway, they both got invited to a party at Snoop Dogg's house in LA sometime back in the mid to late 90s, and he's from Chicago, and Chicago people tend to over-exaggerate things, but his exact words describing the house when he walked in were somewhere along the lines of drugs piled to the ceiling, as well as women, most likely escorts, in every room. And he says it was too much for even him, so he immediately left once he started looking into these rooms. And years later, Cat Williams would allege he saw similar things at mansion parties before everyone thought he was crazy.
These big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit.
And again, we still hear strange stories.
Taylor, and he told you that before people thought he was crazy. Nobody think that nigga crazy. That nigga telling the truth. A lot of this shit that's starting to come out. Niggas are finally feeling brave and bold enough to tell the truth. Them NDAs is expiring. That's what they've been saying. Not me. Don't shoot me. Don't kill me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been there. I wasn't at the parties. But streets are saying these NDAs is expiring and niggas is starting to squeal. And it's just becoming more evident every fucking week with a new thing that's coming out.
Today, like the high school girls that allegedly get invited to Drake's house. So anyway, Diddy's first party was in the Hamptons, East Hamptons to be specific, and if you don't know what the Hamptons are, it's a very affluent area where wealthy people live, at least part-time, since many of them have summer homes here. And for reference, this is what rent looks like in East Hampton. I literally laughed when I saw this because my brain could not come up with any other response to the ridiculous prices I was looking at. Now back to this first 1998
Imagine
party, Paris Hilton, who was basically the first influencer to exist after the internet was created, was there, and she said everyone was there. So this seems to be the start of rappers and entertainers coming to the all-white parties and all-white parties being associated with rappers. So what happened in 1998 to give Diddy the power and influence to get everyone at these parties? Well, for starters, you all know who earned Diddy his first big check in music, the notorious B.I.G., who had just died a little over a year before this party, but just 4 months after B.I.G. passed, Diddy immediately capitalized on the situation and dropped his first and still to this day his best-selling album. Now, of course, since it was dropped so fast, it's implied that he started work on the album while B.I.G. was still alive. But of course, this is where the rumors come in, like one in particular from Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Diddy, that alleged he somehow had prior knowledge in some way of what would happen to Biggie if he went to LA, which is where he ended up dying. And while this is still considered just a conspiracy theory, one thing that is very strange to me is when his mom filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, a key witness who was expected to testify took psychiatric medication right before the trial, which resulted in him suffering lapses in memory, which also resulted in him becoming an unreliable witness. And it all eventually ended in a mistrial, and the family filed 2 more times, but the second time they accused 2 LAPD officers of being complicit in some type of murder plot, but the judge ruled that the family had not complied with California law, and the third time it was just straight up dismissed. Anyway, Diddy went 7 times platinum, was nominated for 5 Grammys on the album, and he eventually won 1, so this pretty much cemented his spot at the top of the music industry, and wouldn't you know it, just months after winning this Grammy is when the first all-white party was held. So obviously, any rapper being around Diddy at this point and onward was...
So apparently, in order to become top of the freaky chain, like in order to host the freak offs, you gotta win a Grammy. Now look how many of them fucking artists got Grammys though. So now Diddy going away. Now is Michael Rubin throwing the parties? When Michael Rubin go away, it's gonna be another nigga throwing the freak offs. It's an ever-ending cycle of freaky shit, if you notice.
Was seen as a move to elevate their career. Something that Michael Rubin can also seemingly do, as obviously he can just put money behind anything. And I'll never forget when he made Meek Mill hop like a bunny, which is just a reminder that if you listen to these...
Now, the whole Meek Mill shit, this nigga been doing weird shit. He involved in the Diddy shit, like, more than most people. When I say more than most, this is fucking audio evidence of this nigga being heavily involved with Diddy. If you heard it, I feel bad for you. You just like me. If you didn't hear it, I envy you. I wish I was you.
Rappers separate the music from the artist because all this tough talk, but when a billionaire tell you to hop like a bunny, you hop, and when he touch you inappropriately, you just pose for the picture like every other influencer. And it's not just the rappers. I saw a video of this man Diddy sitting back watching the A-list actor have a wrestling match in front of him, like some type of performance, while workers are just walking around picking up the trash. He was like an emperor in a coliseum, and this is not regular grown man activity. This is grown men that get flew out for weeks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look. When the internet really started blasting Lil Baby, when these party pictures came out, bro, you can't. I'm telling you, ain't gonna ever in this lifetime ever be a picture of me in this little situation that Lil Baby is in right now with that big ass smile on his face. I don't care how much fun you having. Ain't nothing that funny with a grown man mounting you from the back like that for a picture. Might not even been for a picture, but it just got snapped. But ain't nothing that funny. The moment a nigga get behind you, that you better be straight facing the motherfucker. Like, yo, what you got going on? I know we here to party, but this ain't that party.
Weekend party activity. There has to be something that you won't do for money, right? Now, interestingly, according to multiple sources, as of January 2025, Michael Rubin has canceled his all-white parties forever. And this is due to people.
What? Michael Rubin reportedly no longer hosts his annual white party after Sean Diddy Combs similar.
Comparing him to Diddy, which you could just have birthday parties. If it weren't all white parties and if all these fake entertainers weren't invited every year, it would look a lot less weird if it was just like you and people that you know or are friends with. Listen, I'm not even 30 yet and I have no interest in having the fakest people in the world surrounding me at a party. All of these people are paid to have opinions. You know just like I do that a big rapper, singer, or influencer will only have a stance on something if they get paid. For instance,
you peeped that all white party and this nigga Drake showed up in a cream button down. It's my goat, bro.
Nelly and Snoop Dogg both performed at Donald Trump's inauguration party. Yet the last time he was elected back in 2016, they both publicly took a stance against him. But it's all fake. When these people talk, it's because they just got a deposit in their bank account. Whatever their real opinions are, you'll probably never hear it because they're celebrities. They don't get paid to think, they get paid to entertain and make statements. This is like when Diddy did the Rock the Vote or Vote or Die movement. Like, bro, do you really think Sean P. Diddy Combs cares about who gets elected president? And he just, of his own free will, got these t-shirts printed to make a statement. We all passed the first grade. Why a 50-year-old businessman would want all these people around him, I'll never understand. If I had Michael Rubin's money, I would go to the ATM every day, withdraw $5,000.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. A 50-year-old billionaire businessman wants all these people around him because look how it make him look. It make him look like he about that life. Nigga, if I'm at a party, if I had the ability to throw a party and I knew that Tom Brady was going to be there, Travis Scott was going to be there, Quavo, Drake, LeBron, fucking James Harden, like the top echelon of their profession all in one place. I'm speaking from the perspective of Michael Rubin. You got the ability to gather such a crowd. It's crazy. On paper, it is. But from the outside looking in, this shit just always look weird. Like, it's just weird.
Dollars and put it together in a rubber band just to slap any celebrity that came near me on some fake shit. And the fact that he wanted all these men and women that get paid to do things around him is part of the reason he got compared to Diddy. These people are not his friends, just like Diddy don't have no friends. So what did all these rappers and influencers do at Michael Rubin's house? Probably whatever he asked them to do, whether it was a freak off or if he just made them all bunny hopping in line. I do know that something in his eyes scares me very deeply, and that's for what they did at Diddy's house. Things are still alleged at this point, but I don't think it's far-fetched to say that rich people have parties where people get intimate. Broke people do that. Have you ever been to college? So when you add the atmosphere that a party creates and mix it full of people that have enough money and influence to rarely hear the word no, it can definitely get strange. I've met rich people that are very reserved and you never know what they do behind closed doors. And I met a rich guy in the elevator in Las Vegas that said he was on his way to an orgy. So do with that information what you will.
Damn. No matter, look, I'll tell you this. Like, comment, and sub, but no matter how much y'all start liking and comment and subscribing, no matter how big this channel get, we aren't at those parties. You know what I'm saying? We not rubbing elbows with people like that. We stay away from the freak offs. We mind our business. We work hard. We lock in and we stay to ourselves. But that's it. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. That's another reaction. Don't let me catch you at the white parties.